Hello, 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 hello. Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys. You can see I'm in my
library. I'm in my library. I'm in my library. As you can see here, I'm in my library. It's my big I also call it the study. As you can see here, I have a large collection of novels. Novels. Little playhouse there. I guess. Yep, this is my library. It's very cavernous sounding, even though it shouldn't be, because there's books everywhere. There we go. Yeah, so I collected a lot of these things from my various travels around the world. I got these dragons from Japan and all these books here. I have a large collection of encyclopedias, which are still very useful and very necessary. Yeah, guys, so I just wanted to, go over some very important news here. We won. America won, guys. We're back because Cracker Barrel.
changed back. You guys hear about this shit? America is back.
So yeah, Cracker Barrel. Okay, so I have to, I'll just admit, I was annoyed that Cracker Barrel changed their logo and was going to do this modern rebrand because I talked about this last time. The whole, I don't even know if that happened back, last video I did. I don't even know if the Cracker Barrel thing happened. So it's pretty ironic. I was just talking about the modern shitification of every design with the brutalist architecture. And that was another one. They were going to make it look like shit and very bland. Corporate is now associated with bland, dystopian, cold shit. Just no feeling, no humanity, no heart in anything. And they were going to do that to Cracker Barrel. So I am glad that they went back to the old logo and are apparently not going to change, and apparently did listen to the backlash, which I thought was pretty much just a right-wing backlash. There was the whole Bud Light thing. You guys probably remember the whole Bud Light fiasco with Dylan
Mulvaney. You guys remember? Dylan Mulvaney.
And then they changed Bud Light, got Shane Gillis, and tried to be all, manly again. Well, it looks like Cracker Barrel copied them because, yeah, as you can see here, Cracker Barrel went back to the old logo. And Donald Trump is taking credit for it, which doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess he tweeted apparently that Cracker Barrel should go back to the old logo, admit a mistake. They got a bunch of free publicity. Yeah, I guess he's right. And then they went back to the old logo. And now Trump put himself there and says, America is back, guys. Well, look, I am glad that they went back to their old logo and didn't decide to modernize. In other words, take all the feeling out of Cracker Barrel. But on the other hand, I don't really care. I haven't been to a Cracker Barrel in almost 20 years. It's not because I hardly ever see them, though. That's why. But also the food. I'll be honest. The last time I went there, the food was very subpar and not good. It could be what I didn't get their best item. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what they're good for. Like what people even like there. But it was very like it just wasn't that good. I mean, it did look cool. It does look kind of cool. Like this is like a vintage style. And that's why you would go there because it looks that way, and it looks like this is like like American style. I don't know what else to call it. So good that they did that. But on the other hand, he's saying America is back, but yet look at this tweet. Contrast that with what he just said. America is back. Electricity bills are soaring as data centers sap more power. They're near a record high from all the way back in 10 years ago. They're like over double the price. Like this guy says here. So you will lose your job to AI and then have to pay more to light and heat your home because AI is so energy intensive. I mean, yeah, you're going to have the government step in and do something. And that's going to take us more into socialism, which I'm not for, by the way. I know it can. And here's another one to contrast with Trump's taking credit for America being back. The economy is breaking. Over 800,000 layoffs in 2025 so far. We're not even at the end of the year. Probably 5% unemployment by end of year. 6 million Americans are at least 90 days past due or in default on student loans. No one's buying a home either. I mean, this is a really bad situation with the economy, and no one is really talking about it except for, I guess, the left. Anybody who criticizes Trump. Here's another thing, very ironic. Trump says he'll allow 600,000 Chinese students into the U.S. Now, I'm not against Chinese students, However, I mean, there is a good argument that we obviously, he's taking credit for America being back, but yet the H-1B visa issue is huge. I mean, every job I see lately, I might have said this last time, has that in the description. Some of them say we actually don't support H-1Bs, but most of them say H-1 visa can apply or whatever they say. Rents up. I mean, look at this whole thread this guy did. This time there's no, but is he saying it's worse than 2001, which was the .com thing, or 2008, which was the Obama recession? This time there's no big event, no crash or anything. Rents up 30%, groceries and utilities up 20 to 25%, insurance 40 to 60%, credit card APRs above 22%. 2025, everything costs more, not just housing like in 2008. 2008, prices reset lower. Now they're not. This is fucking crazy, man. Cutting rates won't help. I agree, although I'm not. Don't listen to me about financial expertise or anything. But this is what I keep being worried about. It's a silent depression. People have jobs, but they're still losing. And I actually would argue that that's going away, the people having jobs. As far as if you're not in a blue collar job, although I think the economy is also probably hurting that, I guess. I don't know. And yeah, I did want the right. I was hoping Trump won this time. Go ahead and unfollow.
Go ahead and unfollow. Go ahead, unfollow. Unfollow if you disagree. Go ahead. Go ahead and unfollow. Okay?
I do like a balance, and I'm not somebody who purposely stays in the center. There's some people who do that. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I guess Lex Friedman might be an example. it's like always staying in the center, never taking a position. That is something that's like ridiculous that I don't like. But I do like a balance with everything. Like in the government, I want equal left and right. And now each side is like wanting a majority all the time. But like you can't really have any kind of fairness then. You know, Biden was just in. The economy was fucking terrible. The job market was terrible. Nobody was talking about it. And I thought it was because Biden was in. The media is more left leaning. Yeah, so we got this where the White House is going. We're going to meme. Isn't that great, guys? At least we have actually I put out a tweet about that. Let me go to my own. Like this is what I said. Don't worry, guys. The economy and job market might be getting worse all the time. And Trump pretended Epstein didn't happen. But at least they do memes. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are. And it feels like everybody who's critical of the left is just like meme based now. They're just like, I'm going to put a meme out and that's how we win everything. I mean, like I said, I'm glad Cracker Barrel didn't modernize and shitify their design. But also, I mean, people could barely afford to eat there. It's like, oh, yay, guys, guess what? Cracker Barrel went back to the old logo. Still, you can't really afford to eat even there, which is shitty food. And when I say shitty food, like I said, I haven't been there in a while, and it's no worse than like Applebee's or something else. But I mean, people can't even afford to eat shitty places anymore. People can't even. McDonald's is like way too expensive. Like fast food is expensive now. Fast food. Y'all can't even. We can't even go to McDonald's no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? What's going on, man? Like people, we can't even like. It's like, oh yeah, you saved Cracker Barrel. Too bad you can't afford to eat there because groceries are too much money, and eating out is even more. And we have to pay for AI now that you're replacing our jobs with, which Trump is really for, by the way. That's the thing. Like the right is now for like super pro AI, which is like that it's taking jobs. I thought the right was pro America. What's going on? Because Elon Musk went pro-Trump, now they're right, it's just whatever. Why is everybody like this? Like, am I the only person that doesn't pick a team and just no matter what the team does, support it? Like, what is wrong with people? I mean, it's literally it's literally sports now, except at least people with sports will get mad at their team and be like, you know, angry that they lost a game. But everybody's just like, whatever Trump does is cool. Oh, he put a new meme out. Yay, we won. I mean, I know woke was terrible, and it still is, and it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm glad people are going against woke, and Cracker Barrel is a culture war issue. It's like an internet almost issue. It's like a, I mean, my friend didn't even know. I don't think he probably even knows about the Cracker Barrel thing. Like, I don't even. You have to be online a lot to even know about this shit anymore. Because it was what, like 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago? I guess I'll put my actual background back. All right. See? This is more representative of the economy we're in. I can't afford a giant library like that. That's a mansion. I'm back in my shitty apartment. Yeah, so people can afford to eat a Cracker Barrel, but good, they didn't change their decor. And I kind of think this is an issue that is going to be felt later on because, like I talked about last time, it's kind of like only hitting office-style jobs or tech jobs now because of AI, and I think AI is used as an excuse right now, to be honest. Like, I bet you like 5% is AI, and like 20%. It seems like at least 20% of tech jobs are having like people get fired, like 20% of the workforce. at least. It's probably higher. So I think like a year from now, maybe 6 months. I mean, it's going to hit, I think, pretty badly if no one's buying homes right now. I mean, what? Let me just Google like home. This is not good. You know, why do you have to? If anybody is a Trump supporter or right wing, I just want to know why you guys are like. Why is no one talking about this? I mean, like no one. I mean, I'm talking about it because I was laid off last year. And then I experienced coworkers being laid off this year. In only, an 8-month period that I've been at this new job, half the team was let go in this month. Okay? So, I mean, this isn't good. Why is no one talking about this? I mean, the left, I guess, is, like I was saying, I keep looking up economy because, like, who the fuck? Why is no one talking about this? Now they're saying it grew? Like, bullshit. I mean, they keep measuring it weirdly, too. It's like, see, NPR is talking about it, of course, because they hate Trump. Trump versus the Fed. This isn't good. Tariffs have only been screwing us. 25 countries suspend postal service to U.S. over tariffs. And we have all the left-leaning papers talking about it. All right, so far it's a little bit. It's 20 countries. I guess there's a map here, which is pretty helpful. But okay, this is kind of a big deal, guys. 26 they're suspending shipments to goods valued over $800. So I mean, if you're getting a computer, I guess a Switch 2 would be okay, barely. Because look at this. Japan, which has tons of tech shit. UK, that's a huge one. I mean, this is not a good thing. Canada, look at all these countries. I mean, and I know a lot of people on the right are like, hey, we just gotta wait. Trust the process, guys. Trust the process, bro. Bro, just trust the process, all right? We're just gonna feel the hurt for a little bit. Okay, that sounds a lot like what Biden would have said. I can't think of any podcast I watch that's talking about this right now because I watch a lot of left stuff that was anti-woke and critical of the left because, like, I don't know, maybe I'm a contrarian. Maybe I just hate everything mainstream. But I hated woke. I hated everything happening. And now I hate the mainstream right, I guess. I don't know. Well, I'm on board for, like, the woke, I'm on board for not modernizing the design of Cracker Barrel, even though that's such a minor issue. What else is going on? Let me just go to news, I guess. Well, yeah, there's another shooting again. Guys, big shocker, but guess what? You're never going to believe this. New shooting. I mean, so there was a CDC shooting. Now there was a Catholic school shooting. It's, I don't know. What are you going to say about it? It's just every day now. Guys, guess what? Huge, great news for everybody suffering in the economy. President Trump is going to order... We're going to crack down on the flag burning. Yay. Man arrested over flag burning. He did another executive order with this fucking bullshit. What's with this fucking executive order trend? Who cares? This fucking... Do they even do anything? I mean, yeah, the New York Times is probably right here. Flag burning is still protected speech. I actually support this FIRE organization. They're pro free speech, like, and they got started because the left was going crazy with wanting speech banned on colleges. And now the right is doing it. They're going back to their old ways, I guess. The right used to be the one that was for this kind of stuff. Flag burning is protected by the First Amendment. It says it right here. You don't have to like flag burning. I agree. I don't like it. There was a trend, like, not even that long, maybe last year, around July 4th, people were burning flags and shit like that, especially around 2020. And I was, like, disgusted by it. Like, it's stupid. It's kind of cringe more than anything. Fuck the flag. You know, it's kind of just like, all right, whatever.
Fuck the flag. Fuck America. Fuck America. Fuck it. Fuck you, Dad.
That's basically what it is. It's fuck you, Dad. And that's a lot of the... Now, look, I am very annoyed. I'm mad at Trump at this point because I think he's fucking up everything with the economy. And that's the main reason. That was my main concern. Like I said, I wanted him to win because Kamala... I mean, who the fuck wants Kamala to win president? Are you out of your mind? The best case scenario is it will be the same as Biden when he was in. That's the best case scenario. But then you have the vice president guy who was for, like, trans, like, in the kids' bathroom, which, like, maybe is kind of a minor issue because it's like anybody could go into any bathroom anyway. That's one of the things about the whole bathroom issue. Like, everybody is very up in arms about it, and there have been some pretty big issues with it. In Virginia, I think they had a big issue with, like, assaults happening because trans went in there. I mean, yeah, that's like, but you can't actually do that much about it. I mean, you can just label the restroom, like, a lot of the restrooms in New York are all gender restrooms, although probably around the country. I forget when that started. When did that start? Like 2017, maybe? But it became a huge issue, or it became a trend to, like, label every restroom, all genders are welcome. But they couldn't do it for every restroom because, like, a lot of them are just, like, decades old, like, very old restrooms that just say men or women. And especially if you're, like, if you travel and you're driving and you stop at a rest stop, it'll have, like, a family restroom where you take your kid in. I mean, it's just not really... I don't know how I feel about it. I understand the concern. Like, I'm not some, like, you know, on the left who would, like, be snobby about it. But you also can't really police who goes into a bathroom. I mean, you can't... There's no security guards usually working in a bathroom. If you're, like most places, if you're at, like, a stadium, yeah, they still wouldn't have one. I mean, they would have security, but not at the bathroom, like, checking what gender you are. And everybody act like that was, I mean, yeah, you can't control, like, you can't really tell. Nobody is like, hey, can I see what gender you are? Like, no, that doesn't happen in a bathroom. So, I don't know. Now I'm, like, just annoyed that, like, we should all be in agreement about this. Like, I recently listened to a podcast with this guy. He used to be homeless and all this stuff. Jamie, I forget what his name is. Jared Klickstein. He has this book called Crooked Smile. He used to be, like, a drug addict and a junkie, and he lived on Skid. He has a crazy story. You definitely should listen to a podcast. He's done a ton of podcasts. And he is like critical of the left now because he knows that, common sense. I mean, this is common sense. You don't like everything the left is doing about junkies and stuff like that only makes it worse for them. And everything and he was talking about, so he was apparently living on Skid Row when the Occupy movement was happening and they had those protests in LA, and he said him and other junkies would take advantage of these protests and they would go there and steal stuff off rich college kids, which were the protesters and still are. But even he was saying their message was, it made more sense back then. And I think I mentioned this recently, how like the Occupy movement was the last, like, he even said this on this podcast called Heavy Board was the podcast he was on. And he was saying how since the Occupy movement, like now everything now is about really divisive stuff. And how like the 2020 protests were way darker, and he's right, because where we started fighting about race and like gender, which is, a lot of this stuff you can't help. You're born as a certain thing. You can't like what is the point in making people feel bad about what they were born as? On any side, like, because like it was all like BLM, it was like racism is bad against black people only. I know they didn't say that, but like they went the opposite route where it was like white people are bad. I mean, that was the message for a while. Men are bad. Toxic masculinity was a common phrase. And now you have a lot of young guys who probably feel like shit all the time, have no confidence. I mean, look, yeah, a lot of bad things happened in the past from against different races, against black people, against a lot of other races. But like, what is the point in making like harping on men and harping on whatever and dividing us like that? Like, we clearly were divided. They clearly were like, he even said on the podcast, he was like, they, like, the upper classes got nervous that we were upset about the income, the wealth gap. Because you remember the talk about the 1% and the 99% of the Occupy movement? Like, I was really like, holy shit. I was like, wow, protests that I actually agree with. Like, usually, well, a lot of the protests now are like stuff about stuff you can't change. Like, we have to stop racism against black people. Like, yeah, okay. But like the thing we really need that we can maybe change, other than, like we all don't like racism. But like, how is a protest gonna stop racism? But we can maybe get people to talk about the economy, which was the number one issue the past election to me. And all of a sudden, now we're fighting about Cracker Barrel instead of... Look, I think people thought of it as a right-wing and left issue. However, I mean, everything is so fucking stupid now. You had the outrage about the Sydney Sweeney ad I kind of mentioned last time. How, I forget what company it was, but it said like, oh, she has great genes, like a pun or play on words. And everybody thought, oh, that's Nazi. That's you. And, look, it was a play on words because they make jeans, you know? And also, why give attention to that outrage about that stupid ad? Who cares, you know? So that's what's being focused on now, is that dumb shit. And Cracker Barrel, like, removing the old guy was pretty much what people were upset about, but I was more upset about the design. Removing all the, like, heart and soul out of it. Yeah, I agree with that. However, like, we should also focus on the entire middle class going away. Like, why are we not focused on the bigger picture? Like, yeah, like Trump won. People seem to be less, like, more critical of woke stuff, like of erasing, making everything corporate and shitty. Good. Now let's move on to, like, fixing the economy. But, like, no one really is talking about it yet. I mean, I hope, like I said, I think it's going to be felt more in, like, 6 months or something. I don't know how long, like, what's it going to take for people to start talking about it? The only people really talking about it now are people in the tech world who see what's going on, who feel it, like me. Yeah, so hopefully people can catch on. Look, I hope that people catch on and that my ranting is, like, pointless eventually. I hope, like, all this, me being upset and frustrated about no one talking about it, is proven wrong and people start talking about it.
Cracker Barrel. I have, like, you know,
I will say I've never seen a company backtrack so quickly. Like, look, it's good that they're listening. It's good that they went, you know what? Because that was fucking dumb as fuck. Like, your entire image is country, rural people. Like, what are you doing? Like, how stupid. Wait, there's another fucking shooting? Are you kidding me? Oh, this is the one. Okay, never mind. Wait. Oh, yeah, all right. I thought it was a church. I guess it was the Catholic school. Everybody posting about it. Like, listen, I'm more upset than you guys. This is everybody that, after a tragedy, what everybody does online is, listen, I'm more upset than you, okay? I'm going to put out a tweet that's more upset. Here's me crying. Oh my God, guys. Some of you posted about this, but we really need to talk about this because we need to talk, all right? Listen, America, we need to talk. This can't keep happening. What are we doing? What's happening to us? So this guy thinks it's more important to defend the gay community than be upset about the shooting. For a lot of years, I, along with thousands of gays and lesbians, have faced discrimination and at times violence. Despite all that, no gay or lesbian has ever shot up a school, killing innocent children. I'm getting tired of trans individuals committing. Oh, okay, never mind. He's actually. Yeah, you know, this is a kind of an issue. Like, Twitter is now more right leaning than left leaning. I kind of would rather have it in the middle, but, like, everything is. Yeah, I don't think you should worry about misgendering when a guy shoots up a school, or you know. Here's what I'm starting to think about this, even though it's been happening, you know, at least a decade, if not in rapid, you know, just constantly. Well, here's one of the things I was talking about here. Barack Obama. We can't allow ourselves to become numb to mass shootings. What happened today in Minneapolis is heartbreaking. And Michelle and I are praying for the parents who have lost a child or will be sitting at their. We can't allow ourselves to become numb to mass shooting. Well, it's kind of, it's just like, so it seems like the issue, now everybody's just talking about how the person was trans and not the shooting. Because you know, I think everybody keeps looking for a scapegoat to all these. The scapegoat on the right is antidepressants is always blamed. But I don't think we know if this person was even, well, he probably was. Because a lot of them have, I guess a lot of them have mental illness stuff going on in the background. And I'm not sure if it always says if they're on those or not, but it always is blamed by the right. It's always like, it's always SSRIs are blamed. Immediately, they're like, immediately blamed. They're like, all right, well, actually, I should probably just Google that. Yeah, see, so the right wing always blames big pharma. I mean, I don't blame people for not. I also don't trust big pharma. Mass shooting shows the pattern. And it has all these shoes. That apparently were on SS. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, a lot of these, like, not all of these are SSRIs. Some of these are it just says psychiatric meds or antipsychotics. That makes sense. It makes more sense that it will be antipsychotics. Although no, I guess it doesn't because it made them psychotic. So I guess I don't think that's why. Like, I know it's controversial to say this. Not on the left, I guess, but on the right, people on the right are like, well, it's definitely antidepressants doing it. But, maybe I'm biased because I've been on those and I know, a lot of people I know of have been on and off those, and none of them have done anything violent. So, although they're all adults too. Look, I think it's more nuanced than people are saying. Like, yeah, I don't know what the effects of. I don't think you should put kids on them because it does affect your emotions. Like, as far as like, it doesn't make you not have emotions. I was on one once called Lexapro where that did make me feel numb, and I took it once and that's it. But yeah, I knew right away. So they say that you're supposed to wait or whatever, but like I knew right, like, I was like, this isn't good, and I just got off it. But I was like at least 20, if not 21 or 22 or something. I was not a kid, although they say your brain doesn't like keeps developing until you're 25 or something like that now. Like, it's getting younger. People are still kind of kids until maybe you're 30. I don't know. But yeah, I guess maybe I'm a little biased, but I just don't think it's that. Because when you look at the history, they all have like violent tendencies. It's not just, of course they're going to get on those. If you have a kid who gets violent, I think most parents are going to send them to like a therapist, and then they're going to try something. I do think I think the issue is more with the profession of psychiatry. Because I will admit that psychiatrists pretty much seem to all be corrupt. The ones that I've been to and have heard other people have been to, especially the one in college. When I was in college, I went a couple of times to one, and he basically threw a like, he just handed out antidepressant prescriptions. However, I had already been on one before that. I don't know if like that's what I was thinking at the time. Well, he probably is only doing this because I said I was on one before, but it did seem too easy. They seem very eager to give them out, and that's kind of their only job. People probably confuse them with psychologists, which is somebody that you do therapy with, and that doesn't involve them giving you a prescription. Just so everybody knows, like if you go to a therapist, they're not going to give you a prescription. You have to go to a psychiatrist, or I guess a regular medical doctor can do it. And that's the people I've known that have been on antidepressants have only gone to a doctor, which is weird. But like I said, psychiatrists, I do think they kind of need to be looked into as a profession. Maybe there shouldn't be like. That's one thing I have to say about the whole meds issue. Like, women seem to be unaliving their kids at a way too high rate lately. I talked about that on my old podcast. And the ones like the stories I saw, they're all on like 5 different medicines. And it's already weird enough that you're on. I mean, being on more than 1 or 2 is like too much, unless you have diagnosed things. I don't know how. Maybe it's super easy to get a diagnosis now too, because like they're kind of going off. But what do you do though? You're going off what the person says, you know. But I do think it's more nuanced. I don't think antidepressants make someone shoot up anything. Because like all these stories you look up, like the person already had violent tendencies and they were on and off stuff. It's not like if you show me a story of someone who never was crazy, never acted up or anything, and then took some SSRI and then went crazy, then you have something. Then that is definitely a concern. And I don't think I agree about not giving them at least below 18. It has to be a lot more strict. Unless you have a schizo kid or something very serious. Kids need to like develop emotionally, obviously. So I think giving them something like an antidepressant is going to suppress their development. But when you're an adult, I just don't think it's going to make you shoot anything up. It just doesn't make any sense unless you already had those tendencies. Which, that's the issue. The mental illness is the issue, not the... because the way people talk on the right, it's like they act like they're more dangerous than like meth or something. Or like bath. Remember the bath salt? Remember bath salts was a big thing like 10 years ago? I wonder if that's still a thing. Why does nobody hear about bath salts anymore? Y'all remember that shit? Y'all remember that bath salts and shit? Ain't nobody talking about that shit, y'all. Ain't nobody talking about bath salts. Everybody's talking about Fent. Yeah, like designer drugs are really dangerous. I would never want to take one of those. They're recreational designer drugs. And everything I've heard about designer drugs is not good. There was something about a guy in Florida on them that like ate someone or like zombie attack. Oh yeah, it gave him super strength and stuff like that. Yeah, here's the one I'm thinking of. A homeless man took bath salts, beat someone up unconscious, and bit off most of his face, leaving him blind in both eyes. The incident became to be known as
the Miami Zombie, or the Causeway Cannibal. Yo, dude, get away from those bad salts, yo. Don't do that shit, yo. Don't you dare take that bad salt. Fuck me up. They were originally legal highs. Yo, some of these legal shits, they worse than the illegal shit, yo.
some of this legal shit is worse than the illegal shit. But I haven't heard about these in like 10 years at least. What happened to bath salts? The AI is going to tell me. Oh, somebody wrote an article. See? They were wondering the same thing, yo. What happened to bath salts, America's freakiest drug? There was news reports of users behaving erratically on bath salts. Other cases included people doing things like digging wire out of their skin and abandoning their baby in the middle of the highway. Other people said people on bath salts had superhuman strength. So it seems like they're just not popular anymore. They were sold as a replacement for MDMA. Okay, so maybe it's just like... It says here, as it turns out, the Miami Zombie didn't have a trace of any bath salts, just weed. See what I mean? Like, people always try to blame something else other than mental illness. Why? I mean, yeah, maybe something can, like, trigger something. Because you always hear about weed can make people go schizo, like, if they have that tendency. So you have to be careful, but, like, it's not just the thing. It's like never just the thing. It's never, I took this and then I killed someone. There's a documentary about this guy that killed someone in his sleep, and he blames just he had no idea what he was doing. And it's always suspicious because it's like, I mean, I would hope I still wouldn't kill someone even if I was asleep, like sleepwalking. Yeah, just, I don't know about that excuse. Like, it was the antidepressants. Because wouldn't you need an upper to, like, go do that? I mean, how do you... I don't know. Well, I guess they make you less depressed, supposedly. But then those same people will be like, well, they don't do anything, you know? Like, which is it? That they make people go psychotic and kill people, or they don't do anything? Like, which is it? Oh, there's no such thing as a chemical imbalance. Like, they don't do anything. Okay, but then why do you blame them on killing everyone? And, like, RFK is, like, kind of nuts to me. I mean, he isn't someone we should... I mean, I agree with him on food, that we have to have food more healthy and, like, get all that shit out of it, definitely. But he goes a little bit too far to say, like, he said, like, antidepressants are harder to get off than heroin. I mean, what are you talking about? I went off them before. I know people that went off them, definitely. And they weren't like, oh my God. Like, it did suck, but, like, not... I wasn't comatose. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. Unless somebody was on a crazy dose, and then... I guess if you go off cold turkey or something, I don't know. But to say it's worse than heroin is just ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, I'm open to looking into it. But I kind of feel like all these events are... I mean, really do wonder lately, are they just to make us not think about how expensive, how bad everything is? Like, you know, cost of living wise, how we are just getting like so fucked over with the economy, and just people used to be able to just stay at a job forever, raise a family on one salary, and now it's like impossible. People that I know that have kids like are like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't blame them. Like, I would be really worried about the future too. Like, they have they can't save money, and then you have college to worry about. It's like, who knows? Don't think about the, cost of living. Don't think about like real shit. Let's just argue about Cracker Barrel, guys. We're winning. We're winning. We're winning. We're winning. Cracker Barrel. Changed. We're